Welcome, everybody, to Thrashcast, episode 64. I believe I got that right, guys?
Yep, you got it.
I don't remember. Well, let Ken do it, say so.
64. As usual, I'm here with my metal cohorts in arms, my brothers here, Ken and Billy. How are you guys doing tonight?
All good.
Great, great. Any chance I get a chance to talk about this album?
Yes.
And this album? I mean, this is great.
Tim, is this the first time you're showing vinyl?
I think so. Yeah,
I think so.
I showed it before, but yeah, I've got all my Metallica collection, the first 5 albums, all on vinyl.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
So, and then I have all the singles from this on vinyl too. I bought that, and I gotta find it. It's packed with a bunch of other vinyl I have. I think it was the 7.5-year collection. So it came with Garage Days, the original one, the 598 EP, and it came with all the singles off the first 3 albums. So it was pretty cool. Like, I think it was 6 or 7 vinyls, including a special one that it came with it. I've never played it, and it came with a poster and that. So, but it's packed and it's in a box set. It's pretty cool. As soon as I dig it out wherever it is, I'm going to show it on here. So, but yes, we'll be discussing Metallica's debut album, Kill 'Em All, this evening. So pretty excited about that. Before we get into it, though, a little bit of housekeeping. Where can you watch, find, and listen to us? Well, to start off, you definitely can on YouTube. All you got to do is write in Thrashcast, and it'll come up. All our episodes are there. This will be obviously the 64th. You can also find us on Horror Metal Sounds at kenji.2864. Plus, we're on Rumble, Spotify, and TikTok. So some good stuff happening there. And, the guys are always putting out shorts and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. Like I know our Black Sabbath one from our last one, we did the half-hour one, which was pretty cool, talking about Back to the Beginning. And on our last show, that was pretty good. So you can always find lots of little shorts there, and definitely check us out. Hit follow, hit subscribe. That all helps us out quite a bit. And, there's also, if you're thinking of any thrash albums you'd want us to cover, definitely throw it in the comments. Any comments, positive or negative, about our show, definitely. We're always taking in learning. We want to try to do the best, send out the best product we can. So anything you have, just put it in the comments. And I know Ken religiously gets back to everybody, and I think Billy does too. I'm a bit slack in that. I got to get better at that.
It's okay.
Yeah. So we're going to start off with our usual little segment here on what's spinning and any news items we have. And Ken, why don't you take it away?
Yeah, sure. So, don't have a lot, but I did see that McFarlane Toys posted their latest figure from their Music Maniacs line. So they're doing Judas Priest. So you will be getting a Rob Halford figure. So it's kind of a more current look with his long leather jacket and his beard, and it looks pretty cool. They've already released figures last year in 2024. So there's like Slash, Alice Cooper, Flavor Flav, Freddie Mercury, Rob Zombie. There's a Trooper Eddie, which I have. So it's pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to that. I like the line. It's not too bad. So that, I think they didn't say when it's coming out, but it looks like it's coming out soon because I saw it on his website for pre-orders right now. So
something like that costs.
I buy all these. They're actually about 25 to $30.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 100 or something. I know that famous artist.
Yeah, the only one that they also just released an image of a brand new, like, I guess it's a resin statue of Ozzy. I think you might have saw it online because it posted last week. that's going for like $300 or something like that. It's insane. And it's like I wouldn't mind having it, but not for $300.
No,
way too much. It's way out of my. It's no. I'll pass. But yeah, so most of these figures are about 25 to 30. I think they're like 30, 35, 30, 35 here, and I think they're like maybe $30 or $25 American. So they're pretty cheap. They're pretty cheap. But I'm looking forward to getting that. And then the only other thing I have for what's spinning, I did pick this up on the weekend. Black Sabbath Headless Cross. This is the 2024 remaster.
Yeah.
So I have this somewhere, but I can't find my CD. So I saw it and I picked it up, and I was like, "Oh, I got to get this."
Awesome.
The Tony Martin era is like one of my favorite Sabbath eras of all. I love this album quite a bit, and also the Eternal Idol, the two that I really, really like for with Tony Martin on vocals. But it's a solid album. It's really, really good. So excellent. It's a great remaster. Sounds really good. Good lineup. You got like Cozy Powell, Jeff Nichols, Lawrence Cottle, and then, Iommi on guitar. Great. I love it. It's such a great album. When that song, When Death Calls, what a great song. It's a really, really good album. So, I mean, I'm glad that they're releasing all these Tony Martin albums onto CD because, it's fantastic. But that's all I have for this week.
Cool. Yeah, that I was listening to that this week too. That and Forbidden.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I love the Tony Martin era, and I have on cassette, I think, the Eternal Idol, but I can't, and I want to get because they haven't been pressing them, but they are remastered. I think they're redoing that one as well. But that was one of the Tony Martin eras that were on a different record label. So that's why. Yeah, they didn't release it in the box set with the other 4, I think it is.
Yeah, but that's out now, Jim. At least on vinyl, you can get it now.
Yeah, it's coming out on CD, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this came out
on Record Store Day first. Yeah.
Did you get it, Billy?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's a great
album.
I like all those albums from that era.
So do I, and I'm so glad they redid them. I mean, it's just, and Forbidden, which was kind of, and they're talking about now, I think they got the green light to redo Born Again. So
Born Again's okay. Yeah.
Everybody complains about I know the mix on it or the production wasn't that great, but I don't really mind it. I think it adds to, like, for me, I like the kind of some of the crappy production on some of these albums and kind of brings the charm in a little bit, but I would definitely love a remix to hear what they're going to actually do to it. I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that should be next. I'm waiting for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those albums don't get enough talk. Like, Cross Purposes, that's a fantastic album.
Wicked album.
I love that album. Or Tear is a great album. Like, you don't hear enough about. And Eternal Idol. Eternal Idol is just an incredible album. I totally love that record. And you don't get enough. They don't talk about it that much. Hardly ever.
And Tony Martin's solo stuff, like his last album, I think it was Something of Thorns. I think it was 2022. It made my top 15 albums of that year. His solo album, holy cow, he's a talented singer.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he's a great singer.
Yeah. And I agree. They should, that's obviously probably, they don't push it enough, no, but at least I think it did really well and I think it is selling really well. I know the box set, I got the box set last summer of all the albums, but now they've released them all singly, which is perfect because you have a favorite, but it was pretty well, like, I think it was $45 for the whole thing. I got it and it came with all like a tour booklet and stuff, but I love the fact that they released it. I'm glad Tony's getting a little bit of love there because he was kind of like the forgotten cousin there from Black Sabbath.
Well, he started making the rounds last year with interviews and stuff. He was on several podcasts, so at least people were starting to realize, oh yeah, there's Tony Martin. Let's talk to him about his days in Sabbath.
Yeah,
and he should get some love.
Absolutely.
And there's a version, Jim, being a CD guy. Speaking of the Eternal Idol, there's one with like the both recordings, right? Oh. So you get Tony Martin, and you get all the songs because Tony Martin is the second vocalist. Like Ray Gillen recorded them all first.
That's
So
right.
like
Right.
I was talking to a friend who posted it online recently. And so it was not that old. It's like 10 years old. But the CD has the one version with Tony on vocals and the other with Ray of all the songs. That'd be
Oh,
pretty
that's
awesome to have.
yeah, that would
Yeah,
be
that would
cool.
be. Hmm.
Yeah,
Right
cool.
on.
Billy, what have you got for us?
So one news item. So the a new tour being announced in the US and Canada, September and October. So it's a Dark Angel headlining tour. This was
Mm.
probably the most, I don't know, complicated is the
Yes,
word,
it
but
was.
very difficult to figure it out. So they
Yes.
released the poster on like, they had two pictures, the poster. So the poster was like Dark Angel, and then you're like Sacred Reich, Hyrax, Violence, Midnight, Interceptor, and Void. Uh,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking, geez, this is like a mini festival. That's pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
So I end up shouting it out to you guys, and Ken's like, I don't know, that doesn't sound right with all those bands at
Yeah.
once.
That's what I. Yeah, that's
So
what I said.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You said that.
Yeah.
And then I go back and look, and then they have all the dates. And beside every date is a little symbol, and there's a legend on the bottom. So I go to Toronto, and the symbol was the number symbol. I look back, and it's like, well, no, just Sacred Reich, Hyrax, and Void. But then I see our promoter here actually put up the posting to sell
Yeah.
the tickets, and there's no Sacred Reich. Like
Oh,
No.
apparently the poster and the legend and the symbols were done with errors. So just be careful before you buy your tickets that you know what bands are in what city. So for Toronto, yeah, it's a little less exciting. I mean, it's good,
That's
but
right. Yeah.
Dark Angel and Hyrax, I would have liked to have seen the other band.
oh, Sacred Reich, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
me too.
yeah. So I don't know. What can you do?
But you
Mistakes
know what,
happen.
Billy? That
Yeah.
happened like for the Bush concert. So here it was Bush, Filter, and Rival Sons. So Rival Sons comes on and goes, and then Bush comes on. I'm like, where the hell's Filter? I find out later that they had double booked. So they were playing, I think, in New York. So they left the tour, but nobody said anything. And I bought the ticket. It was hilarious with the three bills, the three bands on the bill. I was like, oh, okay. So we just, okay. It was weird. And it was like 10 to 10, the concert was over. I was like,
Hmm,
okay.
that's weird.
It was
Oh.
weird.
But
Hmm.
yeah, and then on wood spinning, maybe if this was a week earlier or so, I probably could have did on our Canada Day special. But I talked about for probably the last year the German record label Ear Music redoing all the Annihilator albums
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
everything from the fourth album on, only because the first three have been reissued everywhere. So those finally hit my front doorstep from Germany. So got me
Yeah.
Refresh
Wicked.
Demon, and they're really cool. Like they're all double. Like most of them are double LP, and they actually include in the inside, like sitting with Jeff, and they tell the whole story of everything that was happening around the time of the album. Let's refresh the demon, King of the
Sure. Yeah.
Kill. Uh,
Yeah.
and then the third one, because they issued three, the first three,
Remains.
and this one's like I'm not as good as the two I just showed, but remains. But anyways, for collection's sake, I needed to get it. So what I'm
Cool.
really looking for, the next batch will have criteria for a Black Widow. So
Oh yeah. Yeah.
that's really cool. But like in North America, this stuff in the 90s, that wasn't even issued on vinyl.
No.
And like I said in the past, Ear Music are the guys who did the entire Sabotage catalog from beginning to end. It was just
Mhm.
a masterpiece product. They really put a lot of effort in. Everybody loved it. Packaging was awesome. So it's great to finally. This is about 2 years late from when they said they would start, but it started. So that's cool. So yeah, if anyone is a big Annihilator fan, they have CDs and vinyl that were reissued, so get them
Cool.
quick before they're gone.
Yeah. Oh, that's wicked. I love King of the Kill too. I
Yeah,
think probably one in my top five. So
yeah, me too.
yeah. That's a wicked album. And trying to buy this stuff now, like I got a couple that I was able to pick up in the late 2000s, but they're hard to, even on CD, they're out of print. They've been out of print so long that they're going for mega money. So yeah. Oh, that's cool. Is that everything, Billy?
Yeah.
Cool. So not much that I've been spinning. I've got, I picked up, had delivered finally The Haunted.
Oh yeah, I saw you posted that. Cool.
Oh yeah. I mean, I haven't even opened it yet. I've had it since Sunday. But what a Songs of the Last Resort. I mean, I've been spinning it digitally, and this is a killer album. And wow, really, really like these guys. And then I picked up, oh man, I've been going to this record store and picking up some cool original copies of stuff. And man, every time I'm there, I'm thinking of you guys because I'm like, oh man, Billy would want this. He probably has it, but on vinyl. But you have so much destruction in right now that I was able to pick up. And this is the original pressing of the Cracked Brain album. So we all know Ken loves this album. So I'm like, I'm eating pizza, driving, and texting at the same time while taking a picture of this to put on our chat group so you guys look what I picked up.
Jim, did they have Cannonball there? I'm just
I think they do. Yes,
they did. Oh wow!
And I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna get it. Yeah.
All right.
So
well, it's not great. But...
and then I got the newest, the Don Airy album.
Cool.
It's really, really good. I mean, I've been listening. I haven't even opened this either. I've got so much stuff. Pushed to the Edge, good solo album. Obviously, keyboardist, but does a great album. I mean, I've been listening to it digitally. It kicks ass. And last but not least, with all the talk of Maiden there a couple of weeks ago, I decided I'm going to go after a lot of their live albums that I never picked up or whatever. So I got in Maiden England, 1988.
Yep, that's great.
Double CD. It's really cool. I mean, it sounds really good, and I absolutely love it. So pretty neat stuff to pick up and go from there. So.
Ooh, and that one was cool because I don't know if you guys went to it, but like somewhere in the 2000s or so, they actually did. You know how Maiden will do their tour and go back to. They actually reproduced that album live.
Oh wow!
Somewhere I'm gonna guess in Toronto, I saw it probably. I don't know, like in 2010 or somewhere around there, plus or minus 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I think it was around there. I remember the show.
Yeah.
Well, would have this been the Seventh Son tour?
Yes.
Okay, then I saw it. Yeah, because they came here with Guns N' Roses when they did the Seventh Son, and I remember they did start off with Moonshine.
But this one, what I'm talking about, was the Made in England tour.
Oh,
touring for Seventh Son. They were just redoing that album.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, neat. Oh, that's pretty cool.
That's like one of their best live albums, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's a great album live. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. No, it was really good. And I don't know why I didn't have it. I can't remember. I think it came out in like 2013, and I don't know. I missed it. I mean, they have so much stuff that it's hard sometimes. The stuff sneaks in.
I like the real live one and a real dead one. I
got those. Yeah,
those are cool CDs. I like it because the covers kind of go together. It's kind of cool. It's a cool idea.
Pretty cool. So we're through that segment. So we're going to get into our Metallica. So obviously we're doing Kill 'Em All. I've got some questions for you guys. It's kind of an interesting album because there's a lot of stuff around it. I mean, Metallica's first album, there always would be, especially with Mustaine and whatnot, and all the pieces that kind of fell in. But one of the questions here, I just got to find my questions. But no, it's pretty cool. I love it, and this is my original CD copy, but obviously with the two added, I mean, they only released, it wasn't in CD when it first came out. So, and they only released it with the two cover tracks for Blitzkrieg and Am I Evil, I think in 86. And then this one here, I think is, it's not 83, but it would be the one from probably 89, I would say. So, but pretty neat stuff. With finding it, I mean, I've got it on cassette. I've got the original on cassette as well as the other one as well, which I mean, that was neat. You sent out that thing, Ken, there on cassettes that are worth a lot of money now, the graded ones.
Yes, yes.
That was pretty interesting. And Metallica was on there, so
Yep, they were.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So
sought after cassette.
So some of the questions here. I mean, it's this was released in July 25th, 1983. Just a quick little bio. I mean, we've done Metallica albums. We've done the Black Album, we've done Justice, we've done Puppets. So we're running out of all the good ones. So there's not really much sense to really go through a big bio, but this album was the debut, with original member Dave Mustaine obviously getting the boot, and then Kirk Hammett coming in. But they still did 4 songs off this. I believe it's 4 that were co-written by Dave, and they kind of kept going with it. I believe there's 2 off of Lightning as well? 2 or 1?
He's got a couple credits off.
Yeah, but this is pretty neat because Megaforce originally released this after Johnny Z kind of fell in love with the EP they had. So one of my questions are, John Zazula picked up Metallica on the strength of their No Life to Leather demo tape. What do you guys think? Lightning in a bottle, timing, just, I absolutely love it, but it almost broke the record company too, because they were only producing they were only doing 500 copies at a time, selling out of them, and then reproducing another 500. And I believe this sold like 60,000 in the UK, but only 15,000 in the US because they couldn't produce them fast enough when they first started coming out. What do you guys think? Lightning in a bottle moment. I mean, it is one of the definitive thrash metal debuts of all time. What's your guys' thought, Billy?
I don't know. Lightning in a. I think it was 2 things. First was just simply talent. I think, Johnny Z wasn't the first to recognize it, right?
No.
Sligo put him on like his, what do they call those things? Metal Massacre compilations. And although Sligo, if I remember right, couldn't afford to do the album. So that's how that. But so yeah, he wasn't the only one. But and I always go back to there's a great line from the book. Scott Ian of Anthrax, where he talked about like when Johnny Z brought the Metallica down, and they were sharing like rehearsal space, and he had basically said these guys were like one of the best bands like he's ever seen. Like the energy, the talent, the effort. It was something that he looked up to, and it wasn't anything that level he was at. So yeah, I mean, I think just the band was really a talented group of people. And then the other thing I think is just somebody believing in them, right? Yeah. Like Johnny Z, you talked about the label problems. Like, and again, I forget the exact. But I think Johnny Z ended up creating Megaforce just to actually distribute the album, right? So, like, you've got somebody who's willing to go all out and invest in the band, right? So he recognized the talent. They had the talent. He took the shot, like, financially. So, yeah, like, that's why I'm not sure timing. Because, like, I can't help but think, like, if Metallica only came out 2 years later and Lightning was their first album, I can't see them being missed. Like the material was just so strong that they were going to get picked up either way. So yeah, for me, it's Johnny Z taking a chance, and the band had just a lot of raw talent.
And it's funny because I think he actually remortgaged his house to come up with some of the money, because they recorded the album for $15,000. That's what he came up with, which is pretty.
Like no label was going to take them in 1983.
No.
So, like, Johnny Z's got to get the credit for doing all that.
Ken, what's your thoughts?
Well, his reputation, I think, largely reputation. Don't forget, they'd already had, like, carved out a good niche on the live circuit even before an album was out, right?
Great point.
And also, I think stage presence. I mean, James was already, like, pretty crazy as the frontman. I've watched, like, I've watched like early concerts of them playing live, and you can see like right then and there, like they already were commanding the stage. So it's probably a combination of that too. But I mean, yeah, Billy's got a good point. It's most likely, John Zazula taking a chance on them, but he would be well aware of who they were and what they were about back then. I'm sure everybody was hearing them play live and the whole tape trading thing. So yeah, I mean, it's reputation would be a large part of it as well, I would think. So yeah, that's where I would stand on it.
I also think too, it was almost like a middle finger to the starting of the hair metal / glam kind of phase that was picking up steam, not necessarily in '83 fully, but getting there as they kept going. But I agree with you, Billy. I mean, if they started their debut on any of the first 4 albums, nobody would have gone, missed Metallica. They would have hit it no matter what on any 4 of those. I am not saying the Black Album, because by then the Black Album would have never existed because they wouldn't have been a 5th album, but like for that. So I think that's definitely a good point. And great point, Ken, on the fact that, they had a touring reputation already. And I mean, they were, yeah.
And if I could just throw it in here, I jotted it down. So from Scott Ian's book, although I'm not the biggest Anthrax fan, as you guys know, I do have his book. But like, here's his quote talking about the first time hearing the band in that studio in New York. He's like, it literally seemed like flames were coming out of their fingertips. They were so ready to seek and destroy. Every time I heard them, I was completely inspired. So I thought that was a pretty cool quote from one of the big 4 themselves.
And I think they have a lot of respect for Anthrax. Really took them in under their wing too, because they shared their gear, got ripped off, and they ended up using Anthrax gear for some of the shows and stuff like that. So it was, it was pretty cool. It was a really good brotherhood. There was, the competition was just, let's all make it and kind of feed off each other. I get that feeling. It was more of a brotherhood back then, for sure.
Yeah. It's funny though. I don't ever remember Metallica touring with Anthrax. I could be wrong, but you think they'd want to return the favor?
Yeah.
I don't remember them ever touring together.
Yeah.
Well, they did. Yeah, they did on.
On the Big 4.
Oh, the Big 4. Yeah. But I mean, like as the bands were getting going, right?
Well, they
were 3 albums
they
in.
Ideally, they were on that tour when Cliff died.
Yeah.
They were a part of that tour, but you're right.
That's
I don't know.
Right.
The beginning, I'm not too sure though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter.
Hard to say.
So what do you guys, Ken, since you're a resident art expert? Obviously, the cover art, we've brought this up before when we talked about other Metallica podcasts we did for the other albums on here. But, the original artwork being shelved, did you like the original artwork better than this? Or what do you think? I mean, nowadays it wouldn't have got, I mean, they were worried about, I guess, record stores not wanting to pick it up because it was considered semi-offensive to some degree with the switchblade coming out of the toilet called metal up your ass. Nowadays, probably there's a million record album art that's much more offensive.
True.
Or extreme by today's standard.
Exactly.
Like Cannibal Corpse.
What's your thoughts, Ken, on the, you like the redo art that sounds like it was done pretty quickly, or do you like the original?
I've seen both. I've actually seen the original design. I know I saw it online way back. It's all right. It doesn't. I don't really like the metal up your ass. It seems.
Me neither.
I don't know. I actually prefer Kill 'Em All.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. It was designed by Gary L. Hurd, who did the design of the cover. It's a very good graphic, and it looks obviously good on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
It looks, and it looks good on the vinyl. Exactly, the vinyl cover, and it's got a very like horror film aesthetic to me. I like it. I think it's great. I just love how big the logo is in red.
Yes.
It's great, and the blood is like kind of not. It's kind of graphic, but it really stands out. I always preferred, and I even like the title, "Kill 'Em All."
The shadowy hand, eh?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's very it's clever in the way it was designed and put together. So I think it's way better than Metal Up Your Ass, personally speaking. And you know what? John was smart because John was the one who talked them out of it. He was like, no, if you bring this to the record label, they're not gonna go for it. And he was saying all that because I guess being an astute businessman, he realized that it wouldn't sell. I mean, I think what Kill 'Em All is fantastic, and so again, he really was there at the beginning to guide them at the beginning of their career, and it was a wise move, I think, very wise move.
Billy, your thoughts on the album art?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I read an interview that I mean Johnny Z, like not different from what Ken said. He wasn't as concerned about the album image. It was the name. Like he was like, "There's no way I'm going to be able to get my Megaforce product in independent record stores," and that's how we got to get started. Right? We're not even worried about other labels at this point. I got to get this thing in the mom and pop shop, and with that name, right? And like apparently, I don't know if you guys heard this, but it was when he was telling the band, Cliff was like, "Oh, just F these record outlet people,"
I heard that,
and
yes.
he's like, "We should kill them all." And then
Yeah.
like through brainstorming through that, that's where the name actually came from. So that's kind of cool. But I agree with Ken. Like the image is still pretty violent.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you come to think about it. So yeah, I like it way better. I thought the other one is cheesy and kind of
Yeah.
amateurish, and this just leaves like a mystique and like to this day, like that image, like what happened, like why is that like that, and I don't know if you heard this. Ken, because I know you mentioned the artist, but I read an interview with I think it was Lars, and he said that Cliff was notorious for carrying a hammer everywhere. Everywhere
Yes,
he
yes.
went, his
Yep.
bag always had a hammer. And the
Yep.
hammer on that album cover is Cliff's hammer. He actually brought it out, and that was the rough inspiration. Like, I don't know if they came up with the baby and the blood. Maybe that was the artist. But it was the hammer that really ended up landing on that album cover. And that's what was in his bag everywhere he went.
Yeah, that's a good point. Cliff had such a, I guess, had such a hold on the band, really. But
Yeah.
whenever he said something, they listened, right? So yeah, that's a really good point. I remember reading that too,
Yeah.
that the hammer would belong to Cliff.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree with both you guys. I love the album cover, and I think the biggest thing I love the most is what you said, Ken, the logo. Oh man, like
Yeah, it's great
if
in
they
red.
go, they got to go back to this logo. I mean, oh, it's just so awesome that. And but I like it. I think it's more. I agree with you guys. I thought the other one was a little bit juvenile. I had it on a shirt, and it was just on the back of, I think it was Ride Lightning on the front, and then it had Metal Up Your Ass on the back, and it was just kind of, it's a toilet. It's just kind of, yeah, it's kind of kind of funny in a way. But this one definitely is more. This almost kind of rivals, not rival in aggressiveness, but some of the Deicide albums, the earlier Deicide albums, like the one
That's
where
right.
they've got the cover over Jesus and it's bleeding through. I can't even remember the album. I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
the album cover. So kind of makes you wonder what's under there. So I think that's the same thing with Kill 'Em All with the album cover. But no, some great points there.
Jim, can you put it back up? Remind me
Yeah,
what the logo looked like. That was different.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Just the original logo.
Yeah.
In
I
red,
love it.
and how it's framed. Like I love how
Yeah,
they put the frame around it. It's so clever. It's really clever.
yeah. It's really cool. And I mean, and then they did like the next album with the same logo kind of, but with the lightning and stuff. And it just, you
Yes.
knew what you're getting. Okay, this is Metallica. And then when they changed it on Load, well, we're not even going to go there because I've gone there enough. So,
No.
what else do we got here for questions? So some consider this including myself, I guess, because you guys know it's not only my favorite thrash album, it's my favorite album of all time. And how I ranked it is just, I know, and I think there was a website today asking everybody their top 5 metal albums, and I was top 5 Metallica albums. And I think maybe out of 50 that I went through, there was me and one other person who said Kill 'Em All is their favorite. Usually it falls fifth. or fourth out of the top four. And I get that.
Mhm.
Look, the production isn't exactly 100%. It's their first album. It's raw. But I mean, that's what I love about it. I think for me, the album itself, when it came out, when I got it, I picked it up. I mean, as you guys know, we're all in our 50s. You know, back in the record store days, you picked an album up. Like, imagine picking this up and going, what the hell is this? And then looking at the guys on the back of it, which look like that, and you're thinking to yourself, holy Jesus, these guys look like they're ready to do something. So, you know, you pick it up, throw it on, and I mean, it just absolutely changed my whole metal life with that. And I mean, I just, holy cow, it just blew my mind. And I'll defend it to this day. But what are your guys' thoughts? I mean, a lot of people think maybe Venom's Welcome to Hell is kind of the birth of thrash metal. I don't really totally consider that necessarily thrashed for me. I think it's more of a thrashy black and maybe black metal, even some traditional metal. What do you guys think? Do you guys think this is one of the birthplace of thrash albums? Ken, what's your thoughts?
No, it's the birthplace. This is the album. Uh, Look, I have nothing against Venom personally.
No.
They're all right, but no, there's no comparison to this album to Welcome Now. Welcome to Hell is all right. It's got some moments, but no, they'll blow them out of the water if they played. If those two bands played on the same concert, Metallica would blow them out of the water.
And they did. They went on tour.
I know they did, but I'm just saying, like, to compare the two, there is no comparison. To me, it's kill them all, and that's where it starts. And because everything about thrash is in is in all the songs, it's in the lyrics, it's in the way they present themselves on the stage. So yeah, it's there. I think it's undisputed in my mind.
Billy, your thoughts?
Yeah, I would agree. Like, Kill 'Em All is probably the start. I mean, like, yeah, to go back to like Venom and Welcome to Hell, like I do think that inspired a lot of like black metal, death metal, and even thrash metal. Like Lars is on record saying many times one of the main influences in writing Kill 'Em All was Welcome to Hell.
Yes.
Like, no way did he claim like, you know, like that was a thrash record. Like he just said, see, I think it was an input into the sound, but like it's just like it doesn't have the speed and the aggression to the same degree that thrash does. So that could never be the first thrash album in my opinion. But I do think it was an important step in a lot of thrash musicians to get on the journey. So I guess give them a bit of credit.
Yeah.
But they don't get the credit for starting thrash.
No. But I agree. And, you know, Lars, as much as whether you like or you don't like Lars, I mean, when he was young, you know, 14 and 15, I mean, this guy went and lived with some of the members of Diamond Head for months. I mean, he came from a family of means. I think his dad used to be a professional way back, used to be a professional tennis player. But he was right into metal. And I know he was big into the tape trading thing. I think it was Tatler said in an interview that Lars was living with them and he was just living there for months, going to shows and just buying albums, tons of albums, and bringing them back to the US when he came back, which is pretty cool. So that's pretty neat. But anyways, now what do you guys think of? So I read that, James has said like he feels that is their image, especially when they were starting off on this album, when they wanted to go, they pretty much just show up, go on stage. There's no stage clothes. What they wear outside the venue and in the regular life is what they wear on the stage. No makeup, no glam, no nothing like that. They go on. It's just them and the music. Do you think the scaled down image and the lyrics, I mean, the musicianship obviously attracted fans. But for me, I always thought these are just regular young people like me, who's just kind of going to school with a leather jacket, a jean jacket on, a rock shirt, and just getting on stage and playing. Billy, what's your thoughts? Do you think that appealed to a lot of metalheads?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, for me, it was, you said it, like it was just all about the riffs, the music, the songwriting, and and Ken said it early, their relentless reputation for live shows, right? I mean, so to be honest, like I didn't care what they'd be wearing. Like, right around the same time he had Shown No Mercy, and a lot of people were
Yes.
picking that up because they had the studs and the nail. I mean, look at Wasp, that was coming pretty close later with all the craziness and the women tied up and the eating the blood, and like, I mean, let's face it, a lot of young guys are buying the album for the image. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, so I don't know if it hurt them or not. I just don't think they needed gimmicks, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
And Ken, what's your thoughts on their image, especially well back then more than anything?
Yeah, the same as Billy. I think they didn't care. They let the music do the talking. Obviously, I think that's the appeal to why people like Metallica so much. They went out and played, and they didn't care how they looked. I mean, like Cliff is wearing bell bottoms for crying out loud, and bell bottoms were in style back then. And he's got a jean jacket, he's got his bass, and he just plays. And that was the whole point I think, to their attitude. We're just going to go out, we're going to play, and we're going to annihilate. And when we're done, you're not going to forget who we are. And that's pretty much it.
And that spawns another question that I didn't think of, but I did just now. What do you think about like what Metallica did, especially in those early interviews, talking about new wave of British heavy metal bands like Venom, Saxon, all those bands that weren't necessarily massive in the US and Canada. And then, like, I mean, we got to be honest, Cliff should get a royalty from the Misfits on every piece of Misfits skull, that was sold. I mean, if you didn't know who the Misfits were, you went out and seeked them out and wanted to know why they were, why these guys liked them so much. Ken, what's your thoughts on like all the bands that they really, Diamond Head, they brought all these bands to the top of, kind of brought them to the forefront. Budgie, they did covers of these bands that, I mean, when I was a kid, I thought those covers, Am I Evil, I didn't know who Diamond Head was. I thought they were their songs. Yeah. What's your thoughts on how they brought so much with them?
Oh yeah, I'm the same. When I first heard Am I Evil, I thought it was a Metallica song, and didn't realize it's actually a Diamond Head song.
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of cool that especially like Lars wanting to honor the bands that he liked when he was a teenager, like Budgie, like Diamond Head. Like it just goes on, and then they put out the Garage Days revisited. Mm-hmm. That's great, because then you're getting all these songs from bands that I never knew about. But then I heard that album, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And it gets you interested in hearing those other bands. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, obviously they did a lot. Metallica, I give them credit. Their influences they wear them on their sleeves, and they weren't shy to talk about those influences. And it's great that they brought that, because outside of Iron Maiden and say Priest, I didn't listen to a lot of new wave of British heavy metal bands.
Yeah.
So when they started introducing it, it was like, oh, this is kind of cool. So obviously Metallica is saying right off the bat that the new wave of British heavy metal inspired thrash to some degree, and that's fair to say. So yeah, I it's kind of neat how they ended up bringing all those bands to the forefront years later.
And Billy, your thoughts?
Yeah, not much to add to what Ken said. He kind of said it. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, without those bands, there's no Metallica.
Yeah.
So it's kind of it's a nice sort of return a favor, right? I mean, obviously, like earlier on when they were covering some of the stuff initially, they weren't the biggest metal band in the world, nor did they know they'd be selling out like 60,000 seat arenas every night. But yeah, I think it's nice to sort of pay tribute to without those bands, they wouldn't be where they were. So that's cool.
And I think it's cool in saying that, when they didn't know, I think it was Jason when he joined the band. When they first started, he joined the band mid-tour there, and then started playing. And they were in Japan, I think, for his first gigs, I think. And he said that they signed him to like $500 a week or something. And that was like, holy cow, I'm making this much, you know what I mean? Like just $500 a week type thing. Oh, wow. But that's pretty neat. That's true. That returning the favor like that's pretty good. And yeah, you're right. Metallica didn't know that Am I Evil would become a Metallica classic as much as it's probably a Diamond Head classic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, what a rip. They gave Robert Trujillo like $1 million just to sign with the band. And then he got paid after that.
That was $500
of
back
all
in
profits. Well, that's okay. Jason still, as we've talked about before, is living very comfortably to this day off the Black Album royalties.
Yeah.
Didn't need to work another day in his life. So,
and I saw that it's the Black Album still sells 5,000 copies. Is it a week or a month?
I don't know, but it's still on the top like 100 album list every year.
Yeah.
To this day, or top 50 or whatever it is.
I think a few years ago it made the list again, and I read that it was made a lot of money for the band and still does to this day.
Yeah, I can crap all over that album all I want, but man, what it did for the heavy metal movement and for Metallica. I mean, that's why they could do 2 nights in the city and do everything on their own. Oh, they're like a machine, and I don't blame them.
Blackened recordings.
Yeah,
you got Blackened recordings. They don't even need a label because they are their own label now.
Yeah,
I mean that's pretty amazing. What band can say that they basically can put out music when they want? Nobody can dictate what they can and can't do. That's the power, right?
So here's a little. So this is a bit old. This is as of end of 2024. The Black Album is over 1,000 weeks on the top 200 list straight without missing per year.
Wow,
year.
It's crazy.
That's pretty cool.
Damn you think 52 weeks in a year? Wow. That's crazy.
But these are all younger people. I assume that a lot of it's younger people.
Oh yeah, the next generation. Yeah.
Hearing it now, I got to get that. So it's we've all got
cool.
And what about that TV show that did like Master of Puppets?
Oh, Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me all of a sudden that didn't get a boost by a couple million units sold.
Oh yeah. It did. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wicked. No, I mean I think that was great too, especially when you had. I watched Stranger Things and I thought it was so cool. As soon as he got up on top of the camper, his mobile phone started ripping into Master of Puppets. I was like, oh my God, the streams. This is like whoever just, and I guess they let them use it. They didn't charge them for any, they just let them use it.
It's free. Yeah.
Yeah, as far as I know, they didn't.
It's not crazy because who cares? You're going to get it. I think the next day they had 1 million streams.
Well, that's apparently what they said, right? When they were like thinking it through, like if we could introduce this to a whole new generation and a whole new fan base, why wouldn't we do it for free?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, wow. Anyways, and that brings up a good segment into this album because this album didn't go platinum until 1986. So, when Elektra Records picked it up and then re-released it under which would be this as the cassette and the vinyl with 2 extra bonus tracks. Well, they weren't bonus tracks; they're Blitzkrieg and Am I Evil? But that's pretty neat when you think about it because 3 years after its release, it's first platinum in the U.S. And and just to get it, it's gone 4 times platinum in the U.S. I don't know how new these numbers are. One time, it's gone platinum in Canada. It didn't hit the Billboard charts until 1986 as well, where it came in, I think, at 120. So that's kind of neat. And the first single, Whiplash, which was released August 8th of 83. And then the second one was Jump in the Fire, which came out in January of 84. So some really cool stuff happening there. And just tells you, I guess, how strong the music is. Because then I think that Ride the Lightning as well went platinum, I think, the same year, even though it's a year newer album. But the fact that, when they brought out Master of Puppets, especially for a lot of fans, jumped right on a Master and then went right back and bought the other 2. I mean, it just goes to show,
Yeah, that's the real reason they all win in 80 hits. Yeah, for sure.
So cool, though, when you think about it. Like, holy cow, could you imagine you're getting gold records and platinum records for releases you did 3 years earlier? I think that's pretty neat. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it would never happen nowadays, but that's pretty cool. And I bought my first original one. You guys remember Woolco? To store Woolco. I bought it in a bin, but it was $11.99, and I remember I'd go to this the record part of Walmart or sorry, Walmart, Woolco, and they had this big bin, and it was all discounted tapes, and a lot of them were Bonsai record, labeled. I bought Tyrant there, Mean Machine. I bought Thrasher, which Ken, that's got somebody from Anthrax on it. Maybe is it Scott Ian or somebody from Anthrax on it? The band Thrasher. I got them anyways. That's a pretty cool one. And I got all these, and I kept putting this one off because it was never on sale. It was always $11.99. And back in 1980, I think I got this one in '84. And I remember like, man, I got to pay $11.99. Geez, that's expensive. Normally tapes are about $6. And I bought it, and I remember putting it on and just going, holy cow. And it's the original Bonsai Records that doesn't have any pictures or anything. It's just the tape, the case, and that's what you got. It didn't even have, it just had a sticker on the cassette, which was pretty cool. So, but yeah, and then went back as soon as Ride the Lightning came out, got that. And then obviously Master came out. We were all waiting for that. So,
yeah.
So we're going to get into the actual album now. So obviously, Billy, why don't you start off with the first track, Hit the Lights?
Yeah, so it's I think it's a good way to start the album. It's interesting. I mean, the history of the song is before Lars and James got together, they each had half of this thing written. And so you had James had the second half, Lars had the first half, and they redid the chorus together like 5 or 6 times before they landed on something that looked like this. And I guess the other note to this song is Kirk is on record to say this is the first Metallica song he ever played with James and Lars when he came over to the band for this. So that's kind of a cool little history thing. But yeah, like it's got like a drum-led intro, a bit of a musical wall of noise to start. Like that main riff is super memorable. I mean, it's what James does well. James, he's like a riff god, no doubt about that. I mean, all the band members with what they became so good at, you can see it here on the album. They hadn't perfected any of their skills. Like James, like I love James. I mean, if I picked my top 10 thrash records, you did Justice is number 1. Mm-hmm. And Master would be in there too, somewhere a little further back. But so I love this band. I love everything about them. But like they were a bit raw, and they were still learning their instruments. And like James, I think he's probably where I noticed I liked him least compared to where he ended up. Like he was just I don't know, he didn't have the power. Like he still had some melody that shows up on this album, but to me, to my ears, the vocals were definitely he came with leaps and bound jumps with every single album, and that's okay, right? Like that they're learning, so that makes perfect sense to me. It's got a good chorus, memorable chorus. I find that riff at 2:35 is like very new wave of British heavy metal. But we talked about that, so that shouldn't be surprising. I actually like Kirk's solos here, and I shouldn't say it like I'm shocked. I think he did a good job. Like this one, he's got one like 3 minutes. Like he almost shreds for up close to a minute, and it actually closes out the track. So yeah, like for me, there's like 5 or 6 excellent songs on here, and this is one of those great songs.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, was my first, and I find it's got a kind of, you said, a new wave of British heavy metal vibe. I think it kind of does too in the whole song. It kind of has a bit of a Priest vibe, even though like James's vocals are high, not Rob Halford high, or not as good as Rob Halford, but I think he does a tremendous job. He's so young. I mean, so young sounding and so fresh. And right out of the gate, they're just kind of going right after the jugular on this, and that's why I love this song. Ken, what's your thoughts on Hit the Lights?
Yeah, you guys have pretty much hit every major point. As an opening track, yeah, or as the opening salvo here. I mean, it's great. It's their declaration song, hit the lights, the party's starting. Yeah. And you got that here, right? Like the explosive chubs, the riffs. Yeah, like Billy said, the riffs are incredible. Like they just they blow your ears right out, and they don't stop, and that's what makes it so great. I mean, I actually like James as a vocalist on this album.
Mm-hmm.
I know he changed every album. He changed the style slightly and he modified the way he sang the songs. But here it's just that kind of screech. It's
Mm-hmm.
just I like it. It works for the songs. So yeah, as an opening salvo, this is a pretty strong opening. I wonder as we talk tonight if we're going to think that the opening and closing song is going to match other albums that we've talked about in the past, because I think this is
It's the
pretty
best.
close. This is pretty well. I don't know. I think Slayer still holds.
I
Still
don't think
think
it would
Slayer.
even come within 5% of Rain and Blood opening and closing.
That's what I was just going to say.
Me.
I was just going to say Slayer is probably the number one, obviously, but
And
I
number
this
two is Master, right?
right. But this was
Yeah.
going to still be up there, though. I'm just saying, like it's
Yeah.
still pretty good opening and closing songs, but I like the song. It's solid.
And since we'll stick with you, how about the Four Horsemen there, Ken? Track two.
Yeah, the Four Horsemen I like a lot. It's an epic song. I mean, obviously, this is a song that Mustaine was a part of that he wrote, and you can hear elements of his guitar playing style in the song.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact that this is like, and this is one of the things about thrash metal that we've talked about many times, is the whole idea of using biblical references. So the Four Horsemen, conquest, war, famine, and death, and they're named as in the lyrics, which makes it so great. But this is incredible chugging. The engine is incredible here, and then you get that hyper chord progression all the way through. There's speed, there's energy, there's James who doesn't let up. Like it's just that locomotive chug, which I think they really perfected here. It's so great. The song and just the way that James enunciates the words, like he says, he's screaming conquest, war, famine, and death. It's great. It's. I know they play this song live quite often. In fact, I think I've heard every song that they played on this album live. But yeah, it's a great song. I love it.
No, I agree. I think it's awesome. It's definitely that thrash chug is like, oh my god! I mean, it just kind of created that, and that riff intro is amazing. And I love the fact that after they kicked Mustaine out, they kind of retooled this because it was called the Mechanics, and it was more of a sorted kind of a little bit more of a. I don't think it's a Metallica style song originally with the original lyrics and the original idea for the song.
It was all like sexual innuendo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like two of the tracks on here were like that, and they changed them.
Yeah. So, and I think that's good because I mean James was shy originally when he was live, and that's why. And Mustaine did on the original shows would do a lot of the interaction with the with the audience. So I think I don't know. I think Mustaine, but it's cool that Mustaine put it on his first album. I mean, I thought that was pretty neat. And you get another different viewpoint of it. I think that's kind of cool. So, hey, why not? Billy, what's your thoughts on the Four Horsemen?
Yeah, it's another like strong track. And again, you could see like what we loved about Metallica on future albums, right? Like their songwriting skills. I mean, this has a great like pre-chorus, chorus.
Mm-hmm.
Like just killer hooks, you remember it. Like James again, I'd say like he's actually showing he can sing with some melody, like particularly like in the chorus area. It's not just that high pitched scream. So that's cool. I mean, I'm less of a fan of his high pitched scream. Like I think it's a bit uncontrolled, but I mean he fixes that up by lightning. So, but it's a matter of taste. Yeah, like I love the riff at 2:05, and then there's like a cool like musical section that runs like 2 or 3 minutes, and some great tempo changes. Like at 3:30, it slows down, and like if you got a good audio system, you can clearly hear Cliff's bass pretty clear in the mix. So that's cool. We get a strong melodic solo from Kirk, but then it speeds back up. The chugging riffs, yeah, it's great. And like today, everyone like slams Lars for oh, he's not the best drummer, whatever. But he works on this album, right? Like it's like I find he gives a lot of power, and he's drumming exactly how he should for this music. So I've never been such a nitpick on him as many people are, and like I've seen people say on this tour that he ruined the tour because he missed a drum beat here or there. Like it's just ridiculous. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. But the other thing I'll say here, because in prep for today, I read this interview with Lars, and he talked about every song on this album and his memories of it. And so we haven't mentioned it, but it's over 7 minutes.
Yes.
And Lars said there's only one person to blame for this: King Diamond and Merciful Fate. The band was like, if fascinated with them. So they kept going back into songs and adding like another chorus and like another musical section and extending it because that's what Merciful Fate was doing. So like this one, the length doesn't bother me so much. There is one or two towards later on where I do find they just repeat the chorus a bit too much and it becomes a little repetitive. But it's interesting to know that they were forcing these songs longer just because of Merciful Fate.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, Billy, we'll stick with you for Motor Breath. And speaking of, this is a killer drum intro. Lars working butt off, like you say. I often wonder if it's just Lars's perception. Like, is he a bad drummer? I can't tell. I mean, I'm not a drum fanatic.
I'm no expert, so I don't know what I don't know. But I don't mind him. I like him.
I'm satisfied.
I don't think he's a bad drummer.
No, so maybe he's a bit of a dick, maybe. But hey, so is Mustaine. So can be Hetfield. Like everybody's got their sort of their own ego kind of centric thing. And I know Lars, but I gotta stick up for the guy. I mean, the guy knew the end of the record selling when he went to war against Napster. The writing was on the wall, and he was the one everybody was making fun of him. But he's planted that flag, and now every artist.
Yeah, he's right.
Every artist, anyways, I'm off that.
Yeah.
But Billy, what's your thoughts on track 3, Motor Breath?
Yeah, so you mentioned it starts with the huge drum intro. Like I love James galloping riffs kick in. Like I mean, this is much shorter, 3 minutes. It's a little more like punky feel to me. Like I always thought this would have been like a tribute to, Motorhead was another one of their big influences. And it's got Motor Breath. I mean, I don't know. But then in that same article I mentioned to you guys, Lars mentioned Motorhead had absolutely nothing to do with this song, nor were they even thinking specifically of them. So there goes that. But I don't find this track as good as the first two. Like there's the tracks I find in the upper half of the album and tracks in the bottom half. And so for me, this just goes in the bottom half. It's a little bit more straightforward. It's not bad. Like, and again, like I'm talking like they had just done Justice and I'm comparing it to this. So it's my bad, right? That's not fair. Like these guys were just kids starting out.
Mm-hmm.
But I do find this a little bit more straightforward, so it's not as exciting for me. But again, you just got Lars beating the kid on this track. Not a bad song, but not one of my favorite tracks.
Ken, what's your thoughts on Motor Breath?
Yeah, the song is all right. It's short. I mean, it's one of the songs that James wrote before Metallica. He'd already been working on this song. So like his the lyrical interpretations are basically it's one of those kind of high octane anthem like songs about living life at the full throttle, no apologies, no breaks. So I think that's what the Motor Breath is referring to. But yeah, it's okay. You go from like the contrast from a 7-minute song to a 3-minute, just over 3 minutes. I mean, I agree with Billy. It's all right. It's not a bad song. It's just not one of my favorites on the album. But the chorus is all right. I do like it. It wouldn't be my top 5, but it's all right. It's an okay song.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's a great break after the Four Horsemen for a 3-minute, and then we're going to jump right back into it with Jump in the Fire. which is one of my favorite songs on the album. I mean, holy shit! And I love the single because that's where they introduced that demon on the single, the kind of the devil demon, and it's on every shirt back then. It was pretty
Yes,
cool.
yes.
But it's kind of the Jump in the Fire. I mean, it has a great bass line in it. It's kind of more doomy, but still darker thrash. I love it. I mean, it's just so cool. Ken, we'll stick with you on Jump in the Fire.
Yeah, so according to Lars, the song was inspired from Metallica's Run to the Hill. Sorry, Iron Maiden's Run to the Hills. At least that's what I read. I don't know how accurate that is, but and I know Dave originally penned the lyrics here on the song for his band Panic before he joined Metallica. So it's kind of interesting. But I know James, of course, this is another one of the songs that James reworked later on after they booted him out of the band. But I like this song a lot. It has a little bit of a groove to it. Some of the riffs. I like the chorus quite a bit. Jump into the fire. Come on, jump into the fire. The solo is really good. And yeah, I like the whole perspective of the lyrics where it's this like demonic figure, like who's tempting humanity into sin and damnation. I love it. And the fire symbolizes hell, and then the invitation to jump into the fire. So I think it's a cool song. And I remember what you're just saying there, Jim, about the image, that devil demon image.
Yeah.
I remember that too. That was on t-shirts. I've seen it on posters. So yeah, so that was one of those things that really helped sell the song, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure. I love it. And I knew it'd be right up your alley because it's got that whole demon effect. And I loved it. I remember even on the single, I have the single for it. And I was like, oh man, this is so cool. It would have made a wicked album cover as well. Like, so cool. Yeah. Absolutely. So cool. Sure. I always love that one there. But they always, on their singles, like even the Creeping Death single off the next album.
Yeah.
The single artwork was really good too. They put a lot of effort into all the artwork for it. Whiplash was just, I think it showed Kirk or James, I can't remember, and he was kind of shuttered pictured. It was kind of weird, but a lot of the artwork for the singles, especially, I mean, by the time they hit Puppets and by the time they hit Justice, all the singles were just as good as the album covers.
That's right.
Yeah. Who were they using? Was it Pusshead eventually?
Pusshead, yeah. He did because Pusshead did a lot of skateboard art. He did like a lot of images on skateboards, so that's why they went to him for that reason. Cool. Makes sense. They weren't stupid. They knew how to push their image down the road.
Billy, we're going to get you to jump in the fire. What do you think?
Yeah, and speaking of, like, you mentioned like the single, so that's one of the cool things about, those giant anniversary Metallica box sets. They're like $300 when they come out, and now many of them are worth like $1,000. That one of the cool things is they put picture discs in them of all the singles. So it's like a great memory to have in those box sets. So along with like a lot of other shit they put in there. But yeah, so that's cool. Jump in the fire. I mean, for me, I feel a bit like number 3. Like for me, this is the weakest spot in the album, 3 and 4. I just find it's too repetitive. Like the chorus over and over again, jump in the fire, jump in the fire. Like it's just over and over. It's so repetitive. Like they don't do that much repetitiveness in the other tracks. So I don't know. And I always found the aggression is they're pulling the reins in. I always want this song to pick up a little faster, but I mean, so be it. I'm not the one who wrote it, but somebody said it though. The best part of the song is like Kirk's solo towards the end. So, yeah. So again, and not a bad thing. It's my bottom half versus my top half,
and that'll lead right into almost where we're 2 songs away from the end of side 1 on the album. Billy, lead us into Anesthesia, Pulling Teeth, bass solo, take 1.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, that's Like, yeah, as they say, it literally was done in one take.
Mm-hmm.
And Cliff kicked everybody out of the room. No one was allowed to watch him record it. And yeah, that's the actual engineer, Chris, who's doing that word bass solo take one. And he did do it in one take. So that's really cool. I mean, yeah, like I like this. Like, so this kind of, the album's pretty raw and rough by guys, but we know that Cliff was a little more mature in his
Yeah.
music. So that shows up here for sure. It adds a little bit of like a sophistication to the album, if you will. It's kind of beautiful to some degree.
Yep.
Man, you wouldn't expect that in 1983. So that's pretty revolutionary, I think, for
Totally.
1983. I mean, it really is just Cliff, right? You got large jumps in at about the 2:30 mark or so, but like, and so I love the song. I think it's great, and it's great. I also love the way it leads into Whiplash. It's really cool,
Yeah.
and it really makes Whiplash better, I think. But like, I wonder what does it say? Like, what was the conversation in the room, right? Like, is it Cliff saying, "Well, James and Kirk, no, you just back off. This is my song."
Yeah.
Uh, like most instrumentals is not a bass instrumental.
No.
Right. Instrumental's rare enough at this point, but to have a pure bass is not a jazz band. So yeah, I think that's really weird. Like, and is that like to some degree insulting to Kirk to not let him play on an instrumental? I don't know, but I love it, so I don't really care one way or the other. But I just find it odd that as we know, there's great instrumentals on all the coming Metallica albums but they're more like, and Cliff plays a big part in some of them, but they don't share the spotlight with more of the band. They didn't do it here. So I don't know. I always thought that was a bit weird.
I think, and it being 4 minutes 14 seconds for a bass solo is pretty ballsy for back in the day. And Billy, you hit it in the head when you said revolutionary, and I think that's why I love this album. And this is just. I remember hearing it for the first time and going, "Holy cow! I didn't even know a bass guitar could make that, could do that." Because I always thought it was just for like enhancing the beat, enhancing the drums, and helping with the guitar work. And then to hear it do that was just so cool. I mean, man, what a player and what a song. Ken, what's your thoughts on Pulling Teeth?
Well, it's funny what Billy just said about him taking control of the song. They all looked up to him. So obviously, whatever he said, they're going, yeah, go ahead. I'm sure he just said, get out of the fucking room. I'm going to do this. And then, you include like there's distortion, there's like wah-wah pedals and all these tapping techniques that a lead guitarist would use. And he uses it in the bass solo. So it's fantastic. The guy was obviously ahead of his time. And I know that in many interviews, James has even alluded to that they knew that he was kind of ahead of his time as a bass player. So yeah, it's a great song. I mean, no other band had this, and I'm sure most other bands who formed a band would have heard this and go, "Holy shit, this is amazing!" So, and it's a great song. I totally like this song.
And I again too, like you guys hit it on the head with like, holy cow, like it's a bass solo. And I think that's the biggest thing that just blows my mind. And then Lars, takes part in it as he cuts into it halfway through it with a beat. But still, it's just so awesome to have. And I think that just goes to prove how, and I think it was Ron McGovney had said in an earlier interview that he's been in tons of bands and never has he been in a band like Metallica where all they do is rehearse, perfecting their craft. So as much as I give them crap in their modern day stuff, I would never take away the fact that these guys are consummate musicians and professionals. And I mean, they were just kids when they recorded this. So it just goes to show that I think they were so far ahead of their time, and especially Cliff. And I agree, Ken, they looked up to Cliff, and he was kind of the old man of the group, so to speak, of just a few years older. Yeah.
Wise.
Absolutely. So Ken, we'll stick with you with the end of side one here with one of my favorite songs all time of Whiplash, and I mean, Destruction did a cover of it, so it must be good. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, it's such a great song because
Yeah,
what Billy just said, how the bass solo kind of leads right into
yeah,
Whiplash. It's so great, and it has this amazing chug. I love the chugging riffing style in the song. It's just and it doesn't stop, and it's got a really it has a good chorus. I like the chorus quite a bit. I love the solo here. That's really good. There's a lot of really good groove to it in parts of the song. I know that the song itself in live shows, I've heard the song live. It's
oh,
incredible when they play it live. And basically, the thrashing, the screaming, like the whole point of Whiplash is like this. It's like the song I've heard, or some say it's like a love letter to their fan base.
mhm.
So you embrace the aggressive style of the band. And I know in San Francisco they got a lot of not hatred, but they weren't well liked in the beginning when they were there. So this song is like just proof that, yep, here we are, here's our song, and it's so great. It's such a great song.
And I mean, it celebrates mosh pits before there was even
Right,
real mosh pits. And I
right.
love that. I love the lyric, like bang your head against the stage like you never did before, make it ring, make it bleed, make it really sore. It's like they're just egging everybody on to just go full tilt on this. And you know what? And to talk about a perfect opener and closing, if this was probably the closing song after the opening,
Yeah,
probably would go down as one of the best opener and closings, I think. But you
yeah.
know,
That's
yeah.
that's a good point.
But Billy, what's your thoughts on Whiplash?
Yeah, I think it's one of the better tracks for sure. And if I remember right, this wasn't on the demo.
No.
So I think that's
Oh
kind
no,
of
no.
interesting, right? Like the other
Yeah.
songs, they had far more time to craft, but this is like one of the, or the hell, I don't know, maybe they've been playing with this thing in some version for a while. But yeah, I think it's one of the best. Like you asked the question, Jim, is this the first Thrash album? Well, you point to this song
Yeah, true.
as
Yep.
the as the start of Thrash. So that's kind of what I say. But yeah, like I agree with everything Ken said. I do like James' vocals here. He's got some good vocal hooks, and it's just a great anthemic like sing along chorus. But like I find it interesting, right? Because if you think about the chorus, like it has that drum beat before like James does Whiplash, right? Like it'll be like Whiplash.
Yeah.
Like not many drummers will mess with the chorus and have their drumming be an equal like tool as the voice in the chorus, but leave it to Lars to get it in there. But it works.
Yeah.
I think it's as memorable as James' chorus line. Those two things together drive the chorus, and I like the this has one of the best solos, right? James is like, here we go, and Kirk just
Yeah.
nails the solo, right? He's got so much bite on this one. This is a good one. But yeah, I'm a big fan. I think it's one of the best songs.
Wicked. Yeah, no, I mean, it's one of my favorite Metallica songs all time. I just love it. And it is, like you say, the birthplace of thrash. This song would be the anthem. So, that's pretty cool. Billy, we'll stick with you for song 7 on Phantom Lord. This is another one that was co-written by Mustaine as well, who's got a writing credit on here as well. What's your thoughts, Billy, on Phantom Lord?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this one too. For me, this is their track. I think where they paid more tribute to new wave of British heavy metal. Like it has like that opening. Like it's
Yeah.
very late. It's 70s, like very early. Like you could even hear like a little Rush influence, early Rush,
Yeah,
in
I
there
noticed
as
that.
well. So yeah, it's a little bit more mid-pace, right? Certainly coming after Whiplash, it's not all about like how fast they play. It provides like a nice variety to the album. Like it has a really like beautiful musical section that kicks in around 2:30, but then that leads to the really heavy guitar chugging and Lars's drumming, and Kirk has a great solo at 3.5. But yeah, to me, this is like their official like thank you, or wearing their new wave of British heavy metal influences on their sleeve, and it's good because it mixes up the album. So it's one of my favorites. on there.
And Ken, your thoughts on? I mean, Ken, you must love that ominous intro. I love it.
Yeah,
For Phantom.
the intro is like it's weird. It's like compressed, and
Yeah,
then it kind of expands, and then at 32 seconds, that's when the riff goes. The guitars just rip out. I love it. It's a great opening. It's like you're introducing the Phantom Lord to, and I agree with Billy. It sort of has a very kind of new wave of British heavy metal
totally.
feel. I get that. You get that in the song, right? Because it's like, what is the Phantom Lord? Is it interpreted as like a metaphor for heavy metal itself, like this unstoppable, dominating power? That's sort of what you get out of what I interpret out of the lyrics. And I know James, this song is somewhat inspired by his first band, Phantom Lord. So
Mm-hmm.
he's like referring to his musical roots. And I wonder how much influence Dave Mustaine has on this, because this also reminds me of a song that Dave Mustaine would write about too. I get that in the song, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's great. I mean, this solo is great, and I love the way that James adds this scream at the end. Oh, it's just so good. It's like putting the icing on the cake. It's like, here we are. But yeah, this is a fantastic song. It's a great song.
Yeah, I love it, and it could be off of any. You're right. It does do a huge homage to new wave of British heavy metal.
Yeah.
I think that's just it's a wicked track, one of my favorites as well. I mean, the whole album's my favorite, so it's one of the top ones. Can take us away right to No Remorse.
Yeah, No Remorse is interesting. It's like you get that riffing right at the start, then but James' vocals don't actually cut it into like about 112. But I like the fact that this song has that locomotive chug returning. It's got a kind of the solo, I think, is a little bit on the bluesy side, but I kind of like that. It's adds a little bit dimension to it. And I love that when James screams attack at 448, and then that tempo shift again, it goes right back into high gear.
Yeah.
It's great. It's such a great song, and the whole No Remorse thing is all about the idea of war and destruction. So they're talking about you expected to go to war, and then you're expected to kill without without like any hesitation or regret. So I kind of like it, and it's one of I know they would come back to the idea of war and like Master of Puppets and other albums. So, but this is a really good song as well. I totally like the song.
Yeah, and I think that chorus with no remorse, no regret, we don't care, and it just rips. I mean, it goes how the song starts. It breaks right into a chug. Like there's no messing around here. It's just right into it, and I think that's pretty cool. I think this one also has got a really cool new wave of British heavy metal feel as well. I mean,
I
the
would
album
think so.
has a lot of that, but this is just a killer track, and I love no remorse at the end there when they just kind of wind it down. It's pretty cool. Now, Billy, what's your thoughts on No Remorse?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. Like something has to be weakest on the second half of the album, and for me, it's this track.
Yeah.
I just think the others are all 10 out of 10. And for me, this is one where it's 6.5 minutes. Like if I'm going to be honest, I do get a bit bored by the end. Like I think it's a bit repetitive. It could have been 4.5, 5 minutes, but yeah, like I like the musical sort of section that kicks in around 2:55 to 3 minutes. Like there's some great, clear bass playing. There's some great riffs. Kirk has a cool solo that comes in. It's just this nice musical run that works for me. But yeah, I do find it a bit repetitive, and I know Ken called out he likes that scream like around 450. For me, it's a bit rough to hear. It's out of James's range, at least in 1983. But again, personal taste on there. And like Ken said, I like the way it kind of closes out heavier and faster. And again, the bass is pretty audible in this track. So it's just in a half of an album with like brilliant songs, and it's just not quite as brilliant in my opinion. But again, that's okay.
No, wicked. Some great insight. Billy, take us in to one of the strongest songs on the album that I love, "Seek and
Yes.
Destroy."
Yeah, so I agree with you. Yeah, I agree. It's one of my favorites. This is the true staple of the live show.
Mm.
I actually looked it up before we started. Like I would have thought this might be the number one played song, and it helps that it's from the first album. But no, it was actually the third most played song
Whiplash.
in Metallica's career. I guess they probably stopped playing it a bit later on. So, but Creeping Death and Master are the two most played. So I guess that
Yeah,
makes sense. I can't argue
makes
with
sense.
that. This is another one where I know Lars said Merciful Fate had a big influence.
Hmm.
They added multiple sections to this track, but that main riff is just so damn brilliant. Like it's one of James's great riffs. Everybody recognizes this song. Like I think James' vocals are fully controlled here. I think it's one of his best jobs. The chorus is really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I got nothing negative to say here. It's really good. I mean, would I complain if it was 6 minutes? Like, there's a lot of repetitive, like the searching, seek and destroy. Like, it's great. I love it. But like, if you count the amount of times they do it, it's quite a bit. Like, could we have cut a minute? Maybe. But I'm nitpicking.
And in reading about the song too, the song was about having the urge to kill, but not actually doing it. And then I love the fact that the first three mini solos, I think they took right off of Saxon's song for Princess of the Night. So they put that in there and said, "Yeah, that's what we've done." So that was kind of neat too by Saxon. So obviously a lot of influence there. But Ken, what's your thoughts on Seek and Destroy?
Well, it's funny. I thought I read that the James and Lars were inspired by Diamond Head's "Dead
Yeah.
Reckoning" for
Yes.
this song. That's what I've heard. If you're going to debate the length, I don't mind it because I'm thinking to myself, seeing this or hearing it live, they use the whole seek and destroy thing as audience participation.
Yeah.
So I mean, I get what Billy's saying. Yeah, it might be you could probably shave off a minute, but when you play the song live, I think it really hits the audience. Just the way that James brings an audience into the song with like trying to sing "Seek and Destroy." It's good. It's smart. But I like the song. I mean, it's apparently it's the first song they ever recorded in the studio, according to
Mm-hmm.
what I've read. It's got lots of great chugs. It's the chorus is really great. I love all the tempo shifts and the speed and the aggression. And I like, there's that little laugh that James adds at about 5:45, which I kind of like. It's like, oh, that's kind of cool. He throw a little bit of variation in there. But yeah, it's a great song. I'm like Billy. I don't have anything negative to say about the song.
And the anthemic chorus, great description of the live, because I mean James sits up there and just goes searching, and then they just get the audience to participate with Seek and Destroy. I mean, it's anthemic. It's like it just gets you going. I mean, there's so many anthemic songs like Seek and Destroy, the Four Horsemen and Whiplash that you're just. I mean, there's so much of that on this album that you're tired by the end of listening to it because having your fist in the air. But no, it's one of my favorites too.
But I guess in fairness, though, some of the best live songs with like anthemic choruses where the band extends and gets audience participation. Most of those songs are 4 minutes, but the band extends it to 10.
Yeah.
Like they don't need to have the recorded version to be super long to do the extended version. I mean, Metallica's the rarity where they actually have a much longer version for a sing-along, but I got you. It's not a big deal.
Well, you got to do the right hand of the stage, the left, the middle, all the single ladies, which there was none probably at a Metallica show back then.
That's all dudes. All dudes, man.
And that brings us to the end of the album. Billy, what's your thoughts on Metal Militia and another Mustaine? It's got his name on this one as well.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. Like I said, the second half is brilliant. There's only that one song that I don't think that's quite as good, but yeah, this one's relentless. I like it. super fast. Lars is just beating the crap out of the drum kit. It's what we always talk about, end with a bang. I mean, I'm not even going to say should Whiplash have been last. This is good enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, no complaints here. I mean, Cliff is really complimenting James nicely here. If you listen carefully, he's not just copying James's guitar lines, which is common for a bass player. And when Metallica used to say, uh, that's what what's his name? When Cliff died, the guy they brought in.
Oh, Jason.
Yeah, they used to say that Jason would just play along with James, but yeah, that's definitely not the case here.
No.
No.
Yeah, James's vocal is a bit more wild here, but that's the song. It's just got this strong marching rhythm throughout, which is interesting because it literally ends with the marching at the end. There's a really cool solo at 250, and then it gets into an actual bass solo. I always forget that's in there. By Cliff, and so that catches me by surprise when I re-listen to it. But yeah, good final track.
And you know, it's interesting, Billy, because trying to work Militia into a chorus, I mean, it's commendable, and they do a great job with Militia. I love it. It just, it rips right through it. I mean, that's hard to, it's hard to create a catchy chorus, and they do that, and I think that's so cool. Ken's, your thoughts on the closer here with Metal Militia?
Yeah, you guys pretty much said everything about the song. It's a great way to end the song. It's a blistering track with those riffs. It's and the speed of the song. It's whoa. It ends on a banger. That's all I can say. Yeah. I guess for me, I do like Cliff's bass line here. It stands out to me on this song in particular. But overall, yeah, this is such a great song to end the album. You can't. It's perfect ending.
Yeah. No, well, that's the end, guys. I mean, in my mind, it's my favorite. Although I gotta be honest, I mean, if I was to pick obviously my top five, it would be the top four in the Black Album. I mean, I would go obviously Kill 'Em All, then I'd go Puppets, then I'd go probably Justice, then Lightning, and then Black Album, and that anything after that, it would just be it would probably be maybe Hardwired if I had to, but I wouldn't even rate the other ones, so to speak. But I mean, I love this album, but only 50% of it is on strength of the actual album. But I think 50% of it for me it was my first one. It's the first time I listened to them, and you can't replicate that special moment of putting it on and going, whoa, I mean, you just don't really get much of that anymore because now, the single for a new album or a new band is released months ahead of time. You kind of know what's going on, and everything's just brought to you. So that's but no, you guys have anything else to add for Kill 'Em All?
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I feel like I'm too hard on it, but huh?
Same here. No, I'm just
kidding. It's just everything they do really well here. They did even better on Lightning. Then they did it even better on Master. Then they did. Not everyone would agree, but I think so. Did it even better on Justice. So it's like whenever I'm going to listen to Metallica, which is still quite frequently when it comes to the first four records, like I just never have a reason to go back to this. Like I get it, Jim. There's the nostalgia, but like it's just the other three records. I just think, like I said, everything they do well here is done better and it sounds better. So it's hard for me to go back to this record. But again, if I put myself back in 1983, this is pretty damn impressive for 1983. It's just I have trouble doing that.
Yeah, no, great points, and you're right. You're right. I mean, I'd be the first one the band progressively got better each album, and I agree. I think Justice is one of my favorite Metallica albums. I don't care what some people. I mean, the solos on one and that are just friggin' amazing, and the writing's much. I mean, everything's improved. Yeah, and nostalgia does fall into it a lot for me, but I at least listen to this once a month and no skippable tracks. So I watched Pete Pardo do the 10 out of 10 albums like where he's got a 10 out of 10 list of albums. His first one was Mob Rules. This would be my Mob Rules. I no skippable tracks on it, but I got to be honest. In the first four albums, there's no skippable tracks. I don't have any skippable tracks on the first four Metallica albums. So, So that leads us to our last segment here, guys, where we were making a 1983 mixtape. I love this idea because it's always fun. And I'm always, when I'm creating a mixtape, I decide where I want to put maybe a ballad in there if I want to or whatever, and try to produce it myself. But anyways, who wants to go first?
No, I'll go first.
The calm is yours, Ken.
Cool. So I have 10 tracks. They're not really in any order, but I'll start out from at least most of these songs were songs you heard a lot in '83. A lot of these songs got good radio airplay. So we'll start with the first song, which is "Looks Like Kill" from Motley Crue. Shout out the Devil. It's one album that I heard to death, but I always liked the song "Looks Like Kill." It's a classic. Can't go wrong with that. It's a far cry from what the band is today. Yeah, the video is really good too. I was watching the video the other day. It's like, yeah, it's great. This song I heard on the radio quite a bit. It's a great song. Next, I have Slayer, "Die by the Sword," from Show No Mercy, which I like a lot. It has some rough spots. It's not the perfect thrash metal song, but you when you hear the song, you know it's Slayer, and you know that where this band is going from that album onwards. But I always like "Die by the Sword." It's pretty solid song. And then I have the Trooper from Iron Maiden, from Peace of Mind. I love this album. Love the song "The Trooper." It's such a great song. And I know I've heard this thousands of times live with the band, but it's just such a great high energy sing along song, and it never gets old. Never gets old. And then the next song I have is "See You in Hell" by Grim Reaper. Love this album. It's one of my favorite albums. And "See You in Hell" is so great. It's such a great song.
Well, we've totally matched. That was a match.
Cool. Okay, awesome.
A match too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all like. Yeah, how could you not like Grim Reaper? It's like, come on. And then I have Triumph. So I like "When the Lights Go Down" off Never Surrender. Great album. I love Never Surrender. But "When the Lights Go Down" is such a great opening song. So those riffs, Rick's riffs, holy shit. What a song. Totally love that song. And then I added "Whiplash" from Metallica from Kill 'Em All. That's, it's such a great thrash metal anthem. How could you go wrong with that? And then I have Def Leppard. So I have "Rock of Ages." I had to put this on there because my wife would kill me if I didn't.
Hey, great album.
Yeah, it's a great album. It's my wife's favorite band, but
nice.
We used to play this album a lot, all the time in the car. It was always on. I like the album a lot. I will say though, I'm a little sick of it now because I've overheard it to death. But yeah, it's a great. Every song is good. There's not a bad song on this record.
I really like "Die Hard the Hunter" on that song. "Die Hard the Hunter."
That's a really good song too. Yeah, you're right. I totally dig that song. And then I have Dio with "Holy Diver," classic heavy metal. Love that song, "Holy Diver." That opening with it's like the creepy opening, and it just gets into the song. Great song. I totally love that song. And then the last two. So I have, I know this album came out in Europe, I think it was '81, but it was only released in the US in '83, and that's "Breaking the Chains" by Dokken.
Oh,
love the song "Breaking the Chains." It's a really good song. It's one of my favorite Dokken songs. And then the last song I have is "Bark at the Moon" by Ozzy Osbourne. I love this song. I love the video. I love the fact that Greg Canham, special effects artist in many horror movies, did the makeup for the video. I always loved it. It's such a great video. I own an action figure of it. It's such a great song. You can never go wrong with that Ozzy song, "Bark at the Moon."
And Tobias did a good job of it. He actually did a good job of it, I thought, at Back to the Beginning tour when he.
Yeah, it was all right. I thought it was commendable. I had nothing bad to say about his rendition of it. It was all right. Yeah, it was pretty solid. But anyways, that's my 10 songs.
Well, we had 2 exact, and then many off the same albums, just different tracks. So it'd be pretty cool. Billy, what's your mixtape?
Yeah, we had a couple matches there. So yeah, I mean, so this is like 1983. So
Yeah.
I'm like half the year I'm 10 and the other half I'm like 11. So like I'm not exactly like a musical expert at this point.
No.
I certainly wasn't collecting music. It'd probably be another year or two before I was actually building my own like collection. But so I actually built this kind of looking backward. So based
Yeah.
on what I know today, what are the best songs of 1983? So by no means was I listening to some of these in 1983, but some of them I were. So I'm gonna go, and these are not in order. So Motley Crue looks at Kill. I think that's a match with Ken. That's a really good song. I think this is the best Motley Crue album by far.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of a shame what they've come to today, but I'll never be embarrassed to say I like Shout.
Mhm.
Devil. My number two is the band's Manila Road.
Yep.
Their
Oh,
album
good one.
Crystal Logic. I just think it's a brilliant album. It's progressive, one of the early progressive albums. It's got a bit of like psychedelic, even prog in there. So yeah, Mark Shelton, great stuff. Then I got Merciful Fate Into the Coven from Melissa. I love that song. Really like that one live. But I could have picked a lot of stuff from here.
Mhm.
A band I think never got enough attention, but YNT from
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah.
Freak
Mean
album,
Street.
cool like Snake album cover. But yeah, I went with Midnight in Tokyo. Like I'm a
Good
big
song.
YNT fan. I just
Same here.
get a chance to talk about them. This one needs no explanation. Slayer, Die by the Sword. Then I got Grim Reaper. I went with Dead on Arrival, but hell, we could
Oh,
have
okay.
a lot of songs on there. So, but yeah, and I think that's such a great like gateway metal band for people because Steve's vocals are so
Oh,
accessible, right? Like you
Yeah,
could,
he's great.
like a pop fan could listen to it
yeah.
and fall in love with him, right? So that's cool. We brought this into my number seven, an album we talked about earlier, Black Sabbath. I actually like this album a lot from
Same
Born
to me.
I Win Zero the Hero.
Oh, good song.
So that's cool. My number eight is Crocus, Screaming in the Night from Headhunter.
Oh,
Like I've
yeah.
always tried Crocus, and this is the only album that ever really stuck with me. I think it's notorious for being their best. Uh,
Mhm.
but I really like it. And interesting sidebar with Saxon having to leave the Wacken tour, they actually have the OG lineup for Crocus
Oh,
Oh,
coming
nice.
nice.
back and
Cool.
performing. So that's kind of interesting. And then a band I'm surprised, or maybe Ken has it. So for me, number nine has to be a killer album, Satan,
Oh,
From Chord in the Act, their first album,
yep.
Trial by Fire. I mean, proto speed, thrash, new wave of
Yep.
British heavy metal, just a brilliant song. And speaking of brilliant song, my number 10 is Queensryche, the self-titled EP, Queen of the Reich.
Oh, great
I
song.
think it's the best EP ever done and one of the best metal songs ever done. Like I still
Mhm.
get like goosebumps all over when like Jeff is like uh,
Yeah.
is singing those vocals. It's just the ultimate powerful metal vocal. And then just a shout out I had to do because I was still transitioning my musical taste, but to this day I love the Police. And
Yep.
this
Yeah,
was the
good
year of
band.
Synchronicity, and I still love Every Breath You Take, and so
Mhm.
that was a song that I would have been playing a lot back then.
I loved it. I loved Synchronicity. It was a great album.
Yeah. And you know
Yeah.
what? I mean, they're not like the average pop band.
No.
The drummer was known to be a very strong drummer.
Yep.
Like, technically, they were very good musicians, which wasn't
Yep.
common back in the 80s.
And I think they get a bad rap because they were so famous and so mainstream. But
Hmm.
when you think of their album previous to this, Zenyatta Mondata, there was some really good, like, it's a lot of prog rock on there. And I really like them. I think they're great.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan. Even some of their solo works
Yep.
after, I still have in my collection.
Oh, great list,
Ooh,
guys. So I'm going to do mine. I start off with Hit the Lights from Metallica, kind of a no brainer for me. Get things going. Uh, Billy. I got to go with Into the Coven, Merciful Fate, but I could have picked anything off of Melissa. I mean, I love, and I have the original cassettes, a cassette for this and for Don't Break the Oath, because I mean, oh man, I would go to the record store and I'd be like, just fell in love with Merciful Fate at the same time as all this was going on. Ken, I picked Iron Maiden, but I went with Revelations, another great song, but I love the Trooper. And I know everybody complains about the Trooper live, like kind of like what you said, it's been played so many times. But I think if I went to an Iron Maiden concert, I'd be pissed if they didn't play the Trooper.
Yeah, I'd be disappointed.
Yeah,
I get it.
I've seen them 3 times only, but even though I know the fans that have seen them 20 times are like, oh, we're done with that song. No, I want to hear that. I want to hear Flight of Icarus. I want to hear these songs. But I love Revelations. My number 4, Dio off of Holy Diver. But I'm going with just slowing it down a little bit with Don't Talk to Strangers. That's another 10 out of 10 album for me, and I love that song. Number 5, kind of a fun one. I went with The Kids Are Back of Twisted Sister from their You Can't Stop Rock and Roll. I mean, I love that song. And I think if it was the Under the Blade year, I would have went with Shoot 'Em Down. Some of those early Twisted Sister songs are amazing. The next one I would go with is Grim Reaper, See You in Hell. Steve Grimmett's a god. And he should have, really wish there would have been a lot more of his back catalog with that.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, what a voice, and just really kind of sad. I kind of picked this one. This was my now pick because I wasn't really into this band back then, but I'm just giving a plug out to Alcatraz with Island in the Sun. I love the original, but I mean, they just redid it with Giles's vocals. And it just kicks ass, the new version. So, but I love that No Parole for Rock and Roll album from that. I have it. I didn't have it back then. It's more of probably a 10-year after this. I got into Alcatraz, but killer album and great band. This one, though, I love. And I mean, I went with the Rat EP, just like Billy said with the Queensryche EP, which I agree with wholeheartedly. This is another one where I think this EP is better than all their albums. It was raw for me. I went with You Think You're Tough off that album, and I really like it. The whole EP is great. I have it on cassette, and it's a rare. I'm hoping they re-release it. Apparently, I think Stephen Pearcy still owns the rights for it or something. He was talking about it, where they are going to be re-releasing it because it's tough to get. I find the songs that are on this that ended up going on Out of the Cellar were much more raw on this, and I just thought it was more of a metal album, and they kind of toned it down a little bit as their career went on. Love that EP. Number 9, Ken, Bark at the Moon, Ozzy. When I first saw that video and still see it today, I love that video. It's like a horror film set to a 4-minute song. So cool. I mean, we need videos like this again. Like screw the AI. Let's go with these videos back then, and I was really cool. I mean, it was awesome, and I loved Ozzy in it too. In the straight jacket, it's so awesome, and the horses and the standing out at the funeral in the rain. It's just so cool. Tells the whole story. It's awesome. And then number 10, I went with Looks Like Kill. I mean, my favorite Motley Crue album. I'd probably go with Shout at the Devil, Too Fast for Love, and then the Karabi album's my third. I really like that album. Hate everything else they did. It was all kind of bubblegumish, but this was a wicked album. I mean, Knock 'Em Dead Kid off of it, 10 Seconds of Love. Even God Bless the Children of the Beast, that little interlude type thing. The whole album was good. Bastard was really good. And they kind of, even though I bought their stuff after this, I mean, I went out and bought Theater of Pain when it came out.
I like Theater of Pain.
It was confusing though. I was like,
I didn't mind it.
I was confused. I was like, why aren't they all wearing leather and makeup? Like they don't look like they're Satanists anymore. Or I really like that look. The pink in that kind of was like, oh man. Even though I bought the album, loved the album. I mean, it was a lot of hits off that album. And by the time Dr. Feelgood came out, I was kind of moving away from them, though.
See, I like Dr. Feelgood. I have a soft spot for it.
Yeah.
I like the actual song itself. The video was really cool.
The video is
the
cool.
album cover was good.
And Kickstart My Heart, great song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, for me, it's one of my wife's second favorite band. So I was forced to hear this over and over and over because Def Leppard, Motley Crue, her two favorite metal bands.
Yeah.
So you would not. For me, you hear it all the time.
Yeah, and I do agree though. That was probably my last favorite. All my favorite Def Leppard albums. I start with High and Dry, go to this one, and then I go to On Through the Night. I think the first three, 1, 2, and 3 are wicked albums.
All great.
And then after that, though, Hysteria. Even though I saw them on the Hysteria tour, I was kind of starting to go really poppy, and then Adrenalize, they kind of lost me. So, and now, like, their last album, holy cow, 15 tracks on it. Like, talk about
it's boring as hell.
Yeah.
Boring as hell.
But I don't want to piss your wife off. So, yay, Def Leppard.
Oh, no, that's okay. Don't worry.
Well, we've come to the end, guys.
What's that?
No, what was that? Sorry?
No, I was just saying I beefed her enough about some of that stuff, so she's okay with it.
And it's funny, my wife loved Motley Crue back in the day. I mean, holy cow, yeah. And I mean, where did I go? I saw them in Ottawa when they came back on their tour there. And then they they were touring for like 2 years and then came to Halifax. So I saw them on the same tour, which was kind of cool. But no, it was pretty neat. But anyway, so we're at the end of our episode, guys. Great chat. And Billy, do you want to let us in on what you've got planned for the next show?
Yeah, so we're going to jump, I think it's 1 year. We're going to jump ahead 1 year to a classic thrash album, Exodus, Bonded by Blood in 1984. I think it's 84, right, guys?
Yep.
Yeah, 84.
Yeah, 84. You're right.
Wicked. That's going to be a great one. And, we're back with Kirk Hammett. So
that's right.
We're doing back-to-back shows with Kirk, so that's kind of cool. But no, I mean, it's one of my favorite Exodus albums. Can't wait to sink our teeth into that.
Cool.
Well, guys, thanks a lot. And everybody, check us out. Check us out on YouTube. And have a good night, everybody.
Yep, have a good night.